Well, the defending national champions are hitting the road for the first time here in week number 5, week 4, of course, for Ohio State in their 4th game. And they're going to be playing a Washington team that a lot of people are very high on as a potential sleeper for the college football playoff. Maybe this year's version of Indiana, I guess, is what some people in the offseason said. So we're going to try to break down this game to see what is the likelihood that Washington is going to be able to pull off this massive upset against the Ohio State Buckeyes. If you are new around here, my name is Colin Bashnagel, your host here at Bash's College Football Show, and you can find me over here on TikTok. Look me up at Bash's CFB Show. Let's get straight into this game, as I am super duper excited to talk about this one and break it down for you. All right, last check. These are the totals, or at least when I made the graphics for you last night. And we got some situations here for Ohio State that they have not been put into. A young team hitting the road to play in a very, very tough environment. Washington is one of the most underrated home environments in the country. It's not too dissimilar from Oregon, who Ohio State ended up losing to on the road a year ago. Not to mention, traveling out west, that long distance of travel is pretty tough. Pretty tough for a lot of these kids. Now, granted, Ohio State was able to manage it well when they had to travel to the Rose Bowl out west last year. But of course, we remember what happened to that defense in Eugene a year ago. But of course, you could think, I keep saying of course, my bad if that's a little tick that I'm having, I guess. This Washington team is not quite as talented as that Oregon team was last year. So a lot of people are going to be less expecting the Ohio State loss here. But this is Julian Saint's first road start. We have seen Will Howard in big-time environments. He has played at Texas, for example, played at Oklahoma. This guy and Will Howard last year had been through the ringer when it comes to that. This is the first time for Julian Saint. And this is the first time that Brian Hartline, the offense coordinator, is going to have to try to communicate through the helmet comms with a lot of crowd noise. This is going to be a tough challenge for the Ohio State offense here. I know they have Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, whoever you want to talk about. Bo Jackson emerging at running back has been very encouraging to see. This offense has two problems in this game. Number one, how well are they going to communicate with this first-time starter? And number two, red zone. Red zone offense looked very bad against Ohio. It also, against even Grambling, they failed on an interception thrown by Julian Saint. They got to capitalize if they're going to move the ball, because when you look at this Washington defense, I'm pretty convinced that Ohio State's going to be able to move the ball. They're pretty experienced across the board at Washington on defense, but the top end talent is just not there. Ohio State should be able to get around 400 yards of total offense, but they got to capitalize in the red zone. What can Washington do to also kind of contain that offense? Well, I think they got to limit their possessions. See, the thing about Matt Patricia's defense that could be an Achilles heel is no matter what coverage they are in, it seems like, at least it did against Texas, that they do play a lot of two high safety looks, and then they'll roll at the last second and try to disguise coverages and confuse the opposing quarterbacks. And while Buckeye fans might be saying, okay, well, they're going to confuse Damon Williams, he hasn't played that much football, that I do agree with. But if Washington's game plan is going to be trying to run the ball and give simple reads to Damon Williams, they can do that, and they can do that effectively. This Ohio State defensive line is not really all that proven. I feel like Texas was able to run the ball on Ohio State, and the stats kind of back that up. Now, Grambling and Ohio, of course, less effective in the ground game, and I was very encouraged to see how well Ohio State was able to contain Parker Navarro when he was out there healthy. This is a different animal. You're talking about a different caliber of athlete at the quarterback position. You're talking about a different caliber of offensive line with some of the experience that they have. And Jonah Coleman and Adam Muhammad, but specifically Jonah Coleman, really good running backs. And Jonah Coleman, to me, is possibly a top 5 running back in the nation. That's how high I am on him. He just had, albeit UC Davis, he just had 5 touchdowns in one game, right? That's very impressive. This guy's dynamic with the football. He's very versatile. he is going to be able to average 4, 5, 6 yards a pop if Ohio State doesn't have a good game plan for him. And I am worried for Ohio State that the Washington offense is going to be able to control the clock, take time on their possessions, keep that Ohio State offense off the field. And I'm worried, too, that Washington is going to have a lot of comfort doing that because I think this will be a very, very slow start for the Ohio State offense. The key for Ohio State to avoid the upset is get off to a fast start. You want to punch them in the mouth, both get a stop defensively and then go down and score immediately. You want to be up by 2 scores sometime like mid-second quarter because I believe this Ohio State team, it's going to be very hard to catch from behind. And I don't think Washington has the all-around talent to be able to come back from a little bit of a deficit. So Ohio State has to punch them in the mouth. And I just don't think they're going to do that. Look, it is very tough to win on the road in college football. And Julian Sand has not experienced it. This is going to be rough early on. And then when it's getting better throughout the game and Ohio State's starting to move the ball, are they even going to be able to finish in the red zone? I do not have confidence that they can do that. And then when you get to the second half, Washington is showing the ability to control the clock, control the ball, control maybe field positioning. Guys, this is a little bit of a shorter video for such a monumental moment that I'm predicting. Washington is going to upset Ohio State by a score of 20-17. This Washington team is really good, and if they're well coached and disciplined in this game, and if they can get those stops in crucial moments in the red zone, like Ohio State's vulnerable, if they can hold off the immediate surge of Ohio State's offense, the crowd is going to be in this for 60 minutes. And if that's the case, Washington's going to win, and I'm predicting it to be the case. I know this upset is a little bit shocking for some of you that know me as an Ohio State fan, but, you know, back in the day, I did call the Iowa upset. I did call the Purdue upset. This is way less far-fetched than either of those. I think this Washington team is going to get it done, and I also don't think that means the sky is falling for Ohio State. I think Ohio State, with a loss here, could learn a lot, and I think they're going to be fine. They will have wins against Texas, opportunities against Illinois and Penn State and Michigan down the road. So this Ohio State season is not wasted if they lose in Julian Saint's first start, and I think that's what's going to happen. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Make sure you guys like the video if you like the video and subscribe for more college football content. I'll see you guys in the next preview.